Hey guys, it's me, Brittany. So, first of all, you guys, happy holidays. And I just want to say I am such in the holiday spirit. I'm just like eggnog, eggnog, eggnog. But for the past few years, I haven't been in the holiday spirit. But this year, I'm just feeling great. So, you guys, every year I cook the big Thanksgiving dinner for me and my family. So this month, I want to give you guys multiple recipes per week, which is more than I usually do because I usually just give you guys one recipe a week. I'm just going to basically be sharing some of me and my family's favorite dishes from, the Thanksgiving dinner I prepare. So today, I'm just giving you guys a recipe for banana pudding made from scratch and also a tip about preserving avocado, keeping it fresh longer. Okay, so for the banana pudding, and I'm kind of giving you guys 3 different ways you could tweak it. You don't gotta just have it one way. But for the recipe, you're gonna need bananas, flour, and I suggest getting good quality flour like Gold Medal or Pillsbury. But any flour, any white all-purpose flour is fine. Brown sugar, butter, nutmeg, vanilla extract, of course, evaporated milk, water, and that's it. The optional ingredients for the other ways to make the banana pudding, you will need Cool Whip, which is that blue and white bowl from the grocery store. It says Cool Whip on it, and it's in a blue and white bowl. And cinnamon. Okay, so you guys are gonna need a whisk for this, for the beginning part of making the banana pudding. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the. Come on now, y'all slap me in the face. Come on now, y'all gonna need the Nilla wafer cookies. Period. I'm gonna forget the main part. Y'all need those, banana pudding cookies. I think it's made by Obispo. I think they're called Nilla wafer cookies. So what you do is get a pot, whatever pot you're gonna make your pudding in. You put 1 cup of flour, and you get 1 cup of brown sugar, and you start whisking that around. Then you get your evaporated milk, and you start to pour it in very slowly as you whisk. So now we have the flour, brown sugar, and evaporated milk going, whisking. Once you pour all of the milk in slowly, then you refill that can of evaporated milk with water, and you pour that in slowly, repeating the process of whisking constantly. Once that water is gone, you refill the evaporated milk can up again with water and pour it in very slowly as you're whisking. And we're talking, the evaporated milk usually comes in the same size can. I'm talking about the average original evaporated milk can. It's pretty small. And you got to consistently be whisking. And when you're pouring in liquids, you have to pour it in very slowly. Okay, so whisking should take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, honestly, because you want to whisk it all the way until it's just water, no flour involved. Flour clumps. Once you're done whisking and it's all smooth, just water, it feels like just water, then you put it on the stove and you put it on medium heat for just 2 or 3 minutes, just to get it hot. Once it's hot, you turn it all the way down to simmer. Now we're using a spoon. You are stirring your pudding consistently, constantly. You cannot leave. You cannot stop stirring. So you're stirring your pudding, and while you're stirring your pudding, you add a couple of dashes of nutmeg, and you add about 2 tablespoons of vanilla. When you add the vanilla, you should smell it. So that's the goal you're trying to do. As you keep stirring, you gotta keep stirring slowly. Keep stirring, making sure nothing gets stuck to the pan, making sure there's no lumps being created from the flour. That's the point of consistently and constantly stirring. Then you get a stick of butter and you put hunks of butter slowly, slow, like, you put one chunk, stir it in, making sure it's getting melted. Then you put another chunk. Usually I take 4 chunks for 1 stick of butter. So you keep putting chunks until the butter's gone. And after you put 1 chunk, you make sure to stir it until it's melted before you put the next chunk. Once you add the butter, and you're continuously stirring, once it's the texture of like kind of runny, but it's thickened up, but it's still kind of runny, turn it off. Because if you continue to stir it until it's really thick, as it sits, it'll get too thick, and it won't be able to be applied, basically. When you turn it off, when it's like kind of runny still and thick, as it sits out to cool off, it thickens up, but it's still flexible and able to be poured, which is how I like it. Everybody likes their banana pudding different, so it really depends on how thick you want it. But I like it to be thick, but still smooth and creamy and runny-ish. So now we cut up our bananas into little circles, like quarter size. And then now we're layering it. Oh, for this recipe, this is for the little pan, like I believe that's the 9-inch pan, like the little square pan, aluminum pan you see in the stores. And I don't like a lot of bananas in my banana pudding, so I only use 2 bananas for this recipe, for this little pan. But if you do like bananas, you should use 3 to 4 for this recipe. So to layer it, I put the cookies first on the bottom of the pan, and then I put a layer of bananas on top, and then I put a layer of my pudding. Oh, guys, important, sorry. Your pudding needs to be all the way cooled off. I mean, no hotness nowhere, which is, if you want to, honestly, it takes about 3 hours to cool off. I'm not even gonna play with y'all right now. I usually let it cool off overnight, because I made the mistake of using the pudding while it was still kind of warm, and it made my cookies nasty and soggy. So just don't rush this process. If you ain't got time, this ain't the dish for you. I'm just being honest now. So anyways, after you put a layer of cookies and a layer of banana, you put a layer of your banana pudding, and then you repeat the process. You put the cookies, the bananas, and then your pudding. And then you put it in the refrigerator once you're done layering it. Covered, of course, with, like, if you have a top for your pan or aluminum foil. Some people, like people from the South and like my dad, they like their banana pudding hot, So you could put it in the oven on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 25 minutes if you want your banana pudding hot. Otherwise, the OG original way is to put it in the refrigerator and let it what's that word? Let it chill. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Okay, so the other 2 ways to tweak this is you can add Cool Whip. So when I add Cool Whip, it all depends on like what you feeling, because when you add the Cool Whip, it's sweeter. So if you want something a little sweeter than the original way of banana pudding, then you can add the Cool Whip. So what you would do when you add the Cool Whip is, after you put the cookies, the bananas, and the pudding, you will put half of that Cool Whip, layer it over the pudding. And then you would put the cookies on top of the Cool Whip and the bananas, and then the pudding again. That's really all the Cool Whip you need. But if you really are like feeling the Cool Whip, you could put the last half of the Cool Whip on top of the banana pudding. But me personally, I just put the 1/2 of Cool Whip layer in the middle. I don't use the other side of the Cool Whip. And then the last way you can make the banana pudding, if you're like feeling cinnamony, like you want a cinnamon type situation, before you after you cut your bananas, you can sprinkle cinnamon on your bananas and mix it in with your bananas. And I suggest putting the cinnamon on the bananas, because I tried putting the cinnamon in my pudding. I didn't like it that way. I liked it better with the cinnamon on the bananas. So Again, after you put the cinnamon on the bananas, you know, you do your cookies, your cinnamon bananas, and the pudding, and you keep layering it like that. So those are the 3 ways you can do the banana pudding. All 3 ways are delicious. The first way is the original banana pudding way. The other 2 ways I just made up by myself. I'm sure other people did too, but you know, that's just how I made it up. Now moving on to the tip to preserve avocados. I have wasted so many avocados in my lifetime when I don't use it all in one sitting. So I finally learned how to preserve my avocado, and I actually did try this tip, so it's gonna work because it worked for me. What you do is you get a bowl, you put water in it, and the remainder of the avocado you didn't use, like let's say you use half the avocado, the other half you don't want to use, you put in the bowl of water. And you cover it with a lid and put it in the refrigerator. And whenever you're ready to use it again, it's gonna be fresh. Make sure you drain the water first, of course, when you're about to use it, but it's still fresh, it's moist, it's good, you know. I was scared to try this method because I was thinking water with avocado, that's gonna make it like soggy or something, like nasty. But I tried it and I was amazed. It feels like a fresh avocado. So I hope you guys love the banana pudding. I hope you guys love the avocado tip. I'm like so excited for the holidays, you guys. So, you know what I'm going to say. If you have a tsunami in your life, please don't let it swallow you. Just keep swimming. See you next time. Bye. Take picture. Stop recording video.